Good afternoon. It is just about 5 o'clock on Sunday, July 26th, and I am pre recording a meeting for week number 4. I have learned some things from our first week of recording, and that is that showing audio and enabling everyone for video creates very, very big meeting files that are just about impossible to upload to you guys. So that's why I sent you the announcement stating that for week 1, I was going to go ahead and uh, trash the meetings that we did and just allow you to kind of send me a quick description under the live chat meeting area of the grade book, telling me what you found most compelling in this first week. Again, for those who had already done so and come to the meeting, they received credit for it as well. So what I'm doing is I am pre-recording for live chat number 4 today for week number 4. And then we are going to have weeks 2 and 3. We're going to be recorded in more real time. So pretend that this is now week 4 of the class, and you may very well not listen to this until week 4, and that would be just fine if you've waited until week 4 to listen to it. You have 2 discussion questions in management theories, and the first one says, compare and contrast the related concepts of delegation, empowerment, and employee engagement. So what we want to do is have you think about these 3 items. What does it mean to you if someone is going to delegate to you? What does it mean to you if you feel that your employer has empowered you? And what does it mean to you for employee engagement? What does it mean when employees are engaged? So delegation, empowerment, and employee engagement is the topic for your first discussion board in week number 4. And really what you should do is do some reading of the weekly information. You can also feel free to go out and do some more research, because remember, when you do your main posts, you need to be making sure that you are citing sources of research. And I know people say, well, how is it my opinion if I'm citing sources? Again, this is something we've been harping about all term. Even opinions are based upon things that people have learned along the way. So it's important that you go ahead and cite references, articles that you've read, experiences that you've had, books that you may have seen, your textbook, online, whatever it may be. So what does it mean to delegate? Well, delegating to someone means you're giving them a task, right? And that can be very different than empowering or engaging employees. Employers delegate all the time. We know when we have a job that we have certain tasks that we need to do. And obviously our employer has delegated those to us, or we wouldn't be actually doing the work. So delegation can be simply just giving you a task to do. What does it mean to empower employees? Well, I think one of the biggest things I've seen for empowering employees is cross-training them, letting them learn what other people in the organization do, letting them see how the other departments and the other people do their work. There's an old saying, the grass is always greener on the other side. Well, sometimes when employees do some cross-training, they realize that the grass that they thought that was greener in the accounting department or the sales department or the research and development department may not be as exciting as they thought it would be. So keep that in mind when we are looking at empowerment. But again, I think empowering is giving your employees the ability to maybe forge their own path a little bit, to maybe make some decisions that will have an impact on their future with the company, or for them to be able to help in making decisions that will impact the company as a whole. And then employee engagement. How do we engage employees? Do we just say good morning to everyone when they walk through the door and then send everybody to their desk and expect that they just do their work? Or do we interact? Do we communicate? I think communication has a big role in employee engagement. How engaged are your employees? Well, it's kind of like going to a classroom. You've seen classrooms where the teacher engages the students and everybody is interested in the conversation and they're paying attention, and you're maybe doing some role playing or talking about different scenarios, and everyone's interested. You've also seen where classrooms where nobody is engaged and everybody is kind of falling asleep at the back of the room, or trying to sneak a look at their iPhone and find out if their best friend has been texting them for the last half hour of the class. So think about the difference between delegation, empowerment, and employee engagement. Think about situations that you have been in as an employee and or maybe as a employer. Remember, your main post should have at least 250 words, and you should be making sure that you are listing your sources of research, and also, of course, make sure that you are going to do great comments to your classmates as well. Okay, let's go down and take a look at your second discussion for the week. This has to do with management may be described as a science, an art, or a craft. Please discuss how decisions are likely to be made under each approach. You've probably heard this in the past. It may not have been, describing management, but a lot of things in the world have been described as part science, part art, and part craft. What does it mean by science? Well, understanding the technology, knowing the nuts and bolts of how to be a manager, knowing things about things like HR and discipline when necessary, and being able to handle the reports, and being able to schedule meetings and get things done on time, assignments completed, and getting your team to get the deliverables turned in. That's the science part. What about the art? Science, we can teach anybody how to manipulate a report, how to input information into a computer, how to print things off, how to sit through a meeting with an employee who's not doing too well. But how they handle those situations, to me, that is the art. I can teach you the nuts and bolts and the science portion of being a manager, but can I teach you the art? Not necessarily. Can I teach you to be more empathetic if you're not? Probably, but will you come across as being really believable? Maybe not. Can I teach you how to stay calm under pressure? That's usually something that is a personality trait. Can I teach you how to handle emergencies? Can I teach you how to, be good to your employees and help them when they need help and be a good mentor and trainer? Well, I can teach you some of the science aspects, but when it comes to the personality, the getting along with others, the fostering a team player type of attitude, I can't necessarily teach people that. So to me, the art is the soft skills, the people skills. The science is being able to do the nuts and bolts, being able to do things with the technology, manipulate the data, and do what you need to do to get the job done. To me, when you start talking about a craft, it's kind of a combination of the two. And you may disagree with me when you go out and you do your research and you think about what it means for management to be a science, art, or craft. You may decide that craft is not a combination of the two, but it's something else. And that's perfectly fine as long as you back up your thoughts and ideas. For me, it's kind of combining the science and the art together to get a good package in a manager, one who is efficient, effective, gets along with their people, can be tough when they need to be, and be empathetic when they need to be, and gets things done. Again, 250 words. For your main post, make sure you are citing your sources of research, and make sure that you are going to be doing at least 2 great comments to your classmates. And please don't wait until the very end of the week. I understand your main posts are not due until Friday, but if you can get them done for this one even faster, that's better. And please don't wait until the very, very end of Sunday night to be posting your comments to each other. The idea is for us to do more than the minimum, not just get a main post and some comments up there, but to really have a discussion together. Okay, so those are the first 2 assignments for the week. And then obviously, you know that you will have a quiz due on Sunday evening. And then last but not least, you have a paper. The papers need to be 500 to 600 words in length. And it's especially important that you have references from at least, it says here, one valid academic resource other than your textbook. Textbooks are great, but again, they're only one piece of the puzzle. In today's world, we have all different kinds of sources of research to pull from. Personal experience, the internet, textbooks, friends, relatives, out on the internet, anything from books to articles to case studies, you name it. So please make sure that your paper is APA formatted and has at least one valid academic resource other than your textbook. List and describe the typical stages of decision making as portrayed in a rational decision making approach. And how do you think rational decision making fits into strategic decision making? And then how do you tie in this whole idea of management as an art and a science when you are making decisions? Okay, rational decision making. A rational decision making approach is to take things one step at a time, to tackle each little item, to start at the beginning and work methodically through every part until the decision is made. The first thing I always say to people in any kind of decision making is you must know what the problem is. If you can't fully explain to somebody else what the problem is, then you may be wasting your time trying to make a decision. How do you fix a problem if you don't know what that problem is? And a lot of companies are really good at throwing problems out there and expecting people to jump right on them without really talking about what the problem is. Defining the problem is half the battle. So I would suggest that in any kind of decision-making process, you really spend some time to define the problem. Another thing that I think you need to do when you're going to make a good decision of any type is that you need to find out from those who are going to be quote unquote grading you on the decision that you make, what the expected outcome is. For instance, if you look below here, we say your written assignment should be 500 to 600 words in length, contain references from at least one valid academic resource other than your textbook, and be APA formatted. Okay, so that tells you what the expected outcome is. If you don't have people who are going to make a decision as to whether or not your decision was good, who can tell you what they expect the outcome to be, then you're maybe going to be beating your head against the wall. So defining the problem and then asking the person who is the final person to decide what's the outcome. Is it to fix the problem? Is it to fix it within 30 days? Is it to fix it with the least amount of money possible? Is it to put a Band-Aid on it? Is it to make a permanent fix? Is it to get us through an audit? Is it to get us through year end? What is expected from this solution that you come up with? Okay. So rational decision making, strategic decision making, you will read about, and it will talk to you about, how to strategize to make decisions. And lots of times with strategies, it will involve testing out some potential solutions and being able to understand if the solution isn't giving you good data, that you might have to scrap it and move on to something else. That's something for you to think about with strategic decision making. Are you going to come up with a hypothesis and work that hypothesis and then look at the outcome? And if it doesn't give you what you need, are you then supposed to rethink a decision and start over? Okay, so that's what is expected of you for your week 4 paper. Okay, so my understanding is that this is what you should be thinking about in week number 4. As I told you, this has been pre-recorded because while I would normally be doing a meeting, I am going to be in an area that is without good enough internet for me to be able to do live streaming voice or video or anything. So that's why this is being pre-recorded. However, I will be able to receive emails. I will be able to get on the internet. It may not be as robust as I would like it to be, and it may take me more time to get some things done, but I will have access to the internet, and I will be doing the grading for your work, and I will be able to answer questions that you may have. So with that, I am going to go ahead and close out this recording so I can get it posted. And I will be back live in my normal home in Missouri in week number 5. And I'll look at having our week number 5 live meeting one evening, so that hopefully as many people as possible could come to the meeting and voice any concerns that you may have about the topics that we've been discussing all term, because you'll be getting ready for your final exams, and your final exam is one part multiple choice true and false questions, and the other part is going to be short essays. Okay, so that does it for this meeting. I'm going to close out now, and I will see you for week number 5.